Welcome, everyone. The City Council of the City of Gun Barrel City will meet in a regular meeting in City Hall Council Chambers located at 1716 West Main Street, Gun Barrel City, Texas, on Tuesday, May 27th, 2025 at 6:30 p.m. I call this meeting to order. If everyone could please stand for the invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this night, these citizens, these board members, and all of our city employees and first responders. Give us wisdom, patience, and clarity as we go about our city's business. We always pray in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. Now we'll establish a quorum. Roll call from my left, please.
Burns here.
Evans here.
Jacobs here.
We have a quorum. We now have citizens' communications. Pursuant to Texas Government Code Section 55.1 or 551.007, members of the public may speak on any topic. Comments are limited to 3 minutes and no action may be taken by the council. Any response from a member of the City Council to non-agenda comments is limited to a statement of specific factual information, a recitation of existing policy, or direction to staff for follow-up. We have some citizens' communications. I'm going to call you, and if you would choose to speak during your agenda item, you will have the freedom to do so. Stacy Flowers, would you like to wait till item 8C comes up at the public hearing to speak? Yes. Thank you. Brandy Rayburn, also, I think you're speaking on the same item. Would you like to wait till 8C to speak? Okay. Rob Ray, I think item 8E, I think you've chosen to and wish to speak during that item. Is that correct? Okay, sir. Thank you. We will move on. New business. I would like to personally recognize an outgoing city council member, Kenneth Foster.
What?
Oh, I'm sorry. I got ahead of myself. I was so excited about telling Ken how great he was. All right, 6A, consent agenda. All matters listed under consent agenda are considered to be routine by the City Council and will be enacted by one motion. There will not be separate discussion of these items. If discussion is desired, that item will be removed from the consent agenda and will be considered separately. Consider approving the following reports: April 14th, 2025, special meeting minutes, April 15th, 2025, regular meeting minutes, and the EDC March financials. Do I have a motion?
I move that we accept the consent agenda as is.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Evans second.
I have a motion and a second. No further discussion. Vote from my left, please.
Burns, yes.
Evans, yes.
Jacobs, yes.
Motion passes. Thank you, Janet, keeping me on track. Now we'll go to 7A, recognition of outgoing council member Kenneth Foster. I will speak on Ken's behalf. He is not here with us this evening. Ken served on the EDC from 2019 to 2021. Also served on this council from 2021 to 2025. He was a long-standing member of the Rotary and a great steward for the city. I wish he was here so I could really embarrass him, but he's not. But I want to thank him again for his service and all that he did the time that he was here with us. 7B, Judge Grace Wallace, Gun Barrel City Associate Judge, will administer the oaths of office and seat newly elected city council members April Burns, Jennifer Jacobs, and Robert Edwards. Thank you for being here, Grace. April Burns?
Yep, me too.
Congratulations, April. Ms. Jacobs. Congratulations, Ms. Jacobs. Mr. Edwards.
It's your seat.
You can't go back in the audience?
No, you can't go back in the audience. That's not how that works.
3 years, you will not be going back.
Welcome.
Get your seat comfortable.
Okay, moving on. 7C, consider and take action to elect a mayor pro tem per section 3.05 of the city charter, which reads, "The mayor pro tem shall be a city council member elected by the city council at the first regular meeting after each regular election of the city council members and/or mayor." Do I have any nominations for the mayor pro tem at this time?
Would you like to remain pro tem, Rita?
Oh, I don't care. I mean, if y'all want to switch it up, we can.
How do you feel? I don't really have an opinion, I guess.
What you got?
We're talking about
Mayor pro tem
mayor pro tem.
elections.
We need to decide who will serve as mayor pro tem going forward. April?
I have a nomination for April Burns. Do I have a second?
Second?
I have a second. Any discussion? Vote for my left, please.
Burns, yes.
Evans, yes.
Jacobs, yes.
April Burns is now our Mayor Pro Tem. Moving on. 7D, presentation of quarterly department reports, including building and code enforcement, court, police, dispatch, and animal control. Our sponsor of this item will be none other than Dr. Smith.
Council, we're going to kick it off with building and code enforcement, and we have our building official and department head for buildings, Shannon Wiggins, here to do his presentation.
Hello, Shannon Wiggins, building official over building inspections, code enforcement. Quarterly report for February, March, and April. For code violations, Mike had 167 total violations, with the majority of those being trash and debris and grass, which that will continue to go up with the rain and sunshine we've been having. Along with that, he had 552 total inspections. Again, trash and debris and grass were the main violations that he had. Permits, we issued 205 permits, with the majority at this time being garage sale and roofing permits. And that led to a total of 691 inspections, with 408 of those being building combo, which is framing, electrical, everything that they do for a remodel or new build. And that's short and sweet. Any questions?
Questions for staff? If none, thank you, Shannon. Great job.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. Next up, I believe, is court. Grace, floor is yours.
Hello again. All right, so as the department head for the municipal court, I'll be going over a quarterly update for the months of February, March, and April of this year. As you can see on this chart, each department is listed in detail with current cases filed. 53 animal control cases, 1,011 police, 101 from the court, and 10 code cases. There were a total of 249 cases in February, 483 filed in March, 443 cases were filed in April. A total of 1,175 cases filed for this quarter and 2,526 year-to-date. And the year-to-date is October of 2024 through April of 2025. That is up from last year around this time frame. And moving on with some new information, non-cash transactions. Courts are required to give alternative options for defendants to handle their cases, especially if there is a case in which someone cannot afford to pay. Community service is a court order that allows individuals a way to pay their fines and costs. Between February and April, there were 25 cases in which individuals successfully completed work at a nonprofit organization or a government entity. There were 29 cases in which individuals were found indigent. These are special circumstances where the judge made a determination of undue hardship. And then 100 cases in which individuals received some sort of jail credit, whether they were in the city's jail or incarcerated at another facility. You can move on. All right, on the next slide, 188 show cause hearings were set. These were hearings for individuals that defaulted on a court's order. So they had to come back to court and explain why they defaulted. And then there were 319 cases that were reviewed for warrants to be issued or that was brought before the judge for an arraignment. And then lastly, $202,985.32 was what was collected from the court. The city does not keep that total. A portion of this amount does go to the state. And that is all I have. Do you have any questions?
Questions for Judge Wallace?
All right.
Judge,
Thank
thank
you.
you so much. You do a great job. Appreciate you. One more. We have police dispatch and animal control. Chief Stevens.
Mayor, Council, Dr. Smith, thank you for your time. We've had a few new staff hires. We got Officer Taylor Murdoch Murdoch brings 10 years of prior law enforcement service, along with the mayor's dedication, strength, and passion for serving the community and uplifting her members. We hired Officer Stephen Hawkins. Hawkins comes to us with prior law enforcement experience with the Logan County Sheriff's Office in Colorado. Officer Hawkins is also a United States Army veteran. He has also significantly boosted the morale at the department with his positive attitude, upbeat attitude, constantly singing. Surprised it ain't been on YouTube yet. It's probably coming. Next hire is going to be Lieutenant Tony Simmons. Comes with nearly 42 years of law enforcement experience. Lieutenant Simmons has held a variety of key positions throughout his career, excelling particularly in investigations, crime scenes, professional services, and standards. His impressive record includes multiple commendations and awards. He has also served as the Policy and Review Committee Chairman for the Office of the Governor's Criminal Justice Division. Excuse me. Lieutenant Simmons played a pivotal role in the department's journey towards accreditation, and we're excited to have him lead us into the next level of professionalism. Our K-9 team, they just got back from some training. K-9 Igo and his handler, Sergeant Sarasso, attended the North American Police Work Dogs Association certification training, where they were ranked 5th out of a competitive class of 52 teams. Remarkably, Igo has earned the title of Rookie Dog, showcasing his exceptional skills even at the age of 6. This certification not only reflects the dedication to excellence, but also enhances their ability to serve and protect our community effectively. Our K-9 team currently holds 3 nationally recognized certifications when only 1 is required. We're proud to have such a talented team representing our department. Training. Myself, Captain Katsoulis, this is a different one. Captain Katsoulis and Sergeant Gregory attended a new training course that was led by the Texas Commission on Law Enforcement Education staff at their headquarters in Austin. The program focused on critical requirements and compliance standards that law enforcement agencies must adhere to during the background process. Participants engage in hands-on instruction and real-world scenarios, ensuring that they are well prepared to uphold the integrity and safety of our law enforcement operations. Other training, myself, Captain Katsoulis, and Lieutenant Simmons attended the 66th Annual Texas Police Chiefs Association Conference that provided a platform for networking, allowing us to connect with peers, share experiences, and build collaborative relationships. The conference features a range of educational sessions and workshops led by experts, which enhance knowledge in current law enforcement practices, policies, and technologies. Additionally, it presented opportunities to discuss critical issues facing law enforcement today, such as community relations, crime prevention strategies, and mental health awareness. Our participation in this leads to improved skills, innovative ideas, and enhanced leadership capabilities throughout our department. Other staff news, we're currently 2 positions short in patrol and 2 positions short in dispatch. We've got 5 applicants in the process right now. So that's a kind of a drawn out deal, the way backgrounds and everything have to go. So sometimes it takes 2 to 3 months from the time they put the application in until we actually make the cross and actually bring them on.
Out of those 5, is that for both dispatch and PD?
I've got 2 in for dispatch and 3 for officers right now. So 911 and dispatch, we had total calls for service. February was 1,086. March was 1,316. April was 1,519. We're starting to get into those summer months. Everybody coming down to the lake. Our calls for service are starting to increase quite a bit. Phone calls, March 1,384, March 1,405, April was 1,930. So I'm not going to go through each and every one of these, but they've gone up tremendously. Animal control, February we had 28 calls, March we had 56 calls, and April we had 62 calls. Citations, February, 239, March, 261, April, 273. DWIs have gone down, which is a good thing. I think that's because they know we're out actually enforcing the law and on the street. Property crimes have gone down. Arrest, February, we had 40 arrests. March, we had 58. April, we had 57. Vehicles impounded were February had 8, March 19, and April 30. Animal control. Total cost for service, February was 50, March was 73, April was 62. Dogs impounded, February 14, March 22, April 25. Dogs taken to HSCCL, February was 9, March was 11, April was 10. Out of the dogs that weren't taken towards the end of the month were held over and ended up going to the next month. I don't have a clicker.
Thank you. Got it. Thank you.
Oh, it's right here. I'm trying to keep up with where I'm at. I didn't know I had a clicker.
While Keith is refinding his space, since I interrupted him in his train, for some perspective, if you'll go back one slide, Keith, I pulled up while I was sitting here very quickly, the Henderson County Sheriff's Office monthly report. Now, what I have in front of me is December of 2024. They made 92 arrests. Henderson County Sheriff's Department, and you can see on that last slide how many arrests our PD made. So they are a busy group of folks.
Where do you point this?
Just click it, Janet. There we
There
go.
we go.
There was a slide that had arrests.
It's down on the bottom here.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah, where it's above vehicle. Yeah.
Yeah, we had 57 in April.
Henderson County Sheriff's Office had 92 in December for all of Henderson County Sheriff's Office. So a little perspective on how busy these fellows are.
I thought she was clicking this. All right, animal control, we went over that.
You want the rest of the line.
Crime stats. Assaults have gone up from February and March to, from 6 in February, March, 11 in April. Our theft cases have gone up from 9 in February, 14 in March, to 22 in April. Total offenses, 84 for April, 88 for March, and 72 for February. Arrests, they're mainly going to be theft-related, a few assault, family violence, 11 were warrants, 15 theft, for a total of 40 in February, 65 in March, and 56 in April. I don't know why that's in there twice. Questions?
I just have a comment. I want to go back. I think this has been obviously a real hot topic around here is animal control. And unfortunately, there's been a lot of bad information out there that we don't have a 24/7 animal control, which we do. Unfortunately, that information has not been correctly conveyed to the public, but I'm here to state that we do. And you can see by the amount of total calls for service and animal control that Chief Stevens and his group do a great job with all that too. And it's just not our animal control officer. Those officers are also on call all the time and available to pick up animals and things of this nature. So I really commend the job. I mean, that's above and beyond what you guys have to do already. I mean, Dr. Smith already stated how busy Henderson County is. I mean, they might their heads might spin if they spend a weekend with you guys. But all that you have on your plate, I thank you very much for taking care of I know it's a hot topic here in town. You guys do a great job with that, and I appreciate you very much, Chief Stevens.
Appreciate it. And if I can make one more comment on the animal control stuff. We do answer animal control calls 24/7, whether animal control is here or not. Matter of fact, one of our patrol trucks, I'm working with Dr. Smith now to get it outfitted with a kennel in the back of it and all the animal control stuff. So my guys will actually have, if our patrol truck's out, they'll be able to do it and they'll have access to it 24/7. So we are answering those calls 24/7, 7 days a week.
Any further questions for Chief? Great job. Thank you very much. Moving on, 7E, receive the annual comprehensive financial report and audit for the fiscal year ending September 30th, 2024 for the city of Gun Barrel City, which includes the independent auditor's report. Speaking on this will be none other than our city treasurer, Mickey Rainey.
Negative. Our auditor, Donald Almond, is here, so I'm going to have him come up.
Donald, did you see how she passed that to you like that?
Well, good evening. I am Don Allman, CPA, and of course, first would like to thank the mayor and council members for choosing my firm to do the audit for Gun Barrel City. Greatly appreciate the business. Always enjoy coming to Gun Barrel City, one of our favorite cities to visit. Every time I come in, I look around that lake to see for sale signs. Didn't see any yet, but hopefully, sometime pretty soon. I do need to thank the staff here. Everyone's great to work with. We work with Janet Dillard, Dr. Smith, and of course, Mickey Rainey. So big thanks to them for getting us all the information for the audit. And if you do have your reports there with you, and I do also promise we will not go over all 55 pages tonight. If you're like me, you haven't had dinner yet. So yeah, we'll try to do this pretty quick. Turn to page 8 for your financial highlights. So yeah, that first bullet point there reads, total assets at September 30, 2024 were $15,671,942. Total liabilities were $1,783,415, with total net position being $13,531,337. Now, if you know anything about financial statement analysis, just off the top of my head, 13.5 net position out of 15 total assets. That's 90%, give or take. A 9-to-1 asset to debt ratio is called outstanding. So, very, very outstanding financial position there for Gun Barrel City. Obviously, very good financial management for several years to get that sort of net position. Your second bullet point there reads, total revenues for fiscal year ending September 30, 2024 were $6,896,519. Total expenses were $7,236,621, with a net position decrease or net loss of $340,102. Now, of course, some people might go, oh, net loss, that's not good, $340,000. Depreciation in Gun Barrel City is $940,000. So cash flow basis, add back that number for cash flow, that's a $600,000 positive net cash flow. And, a lot of times, when I do city audits, they're like, gosh, this city made, $2 million. It's like, well, then how much money are y'all putting back into the community? Honestly, you kind of want to see a city putting money back into the community too. So that's definitely a small net loss like this is definitely not all bad. So yeah, your third bullet point, the net position, of governmental funds, which do not include capital assets or loans, is, $6,512,075. That has a net position decrease of $26,000, and kind of the difference in accounting there is capital assets are expensed rather than depreciated. So now let's turn over to page 10. This is the statement of net position for Gun Barrel City, and that's government audit for balance sheet. So this is the balance sheet for Gun Barrel City. We have 2024 and 2023 side by side. Current and other assets, that's going to be things like all the checking accounts, savings accounts, CDs, just basically any and all bank accounts for Gun Barrel City. Plus it'd be things like sales tax receivable, so, basically just any account receivables. $7,143,619, very slight decrease from the $7,168,000 in the prior year, so about a slight $25,000 decrease there. Your capital assets net, that is net of depreciation, $8,528,323, down just slightly from the $8,700,000. So about a $172,000 decrease. As I mentioned, depreciation is like $940,000. So I think y'all had about $700,000 in actual capital asset additions in 2024 also. So total assets, $15,671,942. About a $200,000 decrease from the $15,868,427 in the prior year. Deferred outflows of resources is a pension number, doesn't really affect the city directly, just required to be reported with the city financials. Excuse me, $591,571, down about $150,000 from the $746,000 in the prior year. Long-term liabilities, that'll be any and all loans, debts that are go beyond 1 year in due dates, $1,151,000. That's down from the $1,431,000. So you paid down your long-term debt about $380,000, which is of course good. Your other accounts or other liabilities, mostly that's accounts payable and then the current portion of any loans. Very similar, they're almost identical, $631,000, up just very slightly from about $630,000 in the prior year. Total liabilities, $1,783,000. That is down substantially from the $2,060,000. So you paid down your long-term debt to just under $300,000 during 2024. Deferred inflows of resources, again, another pension number, doesn't really affect the city directly, just kind of comes from your TMRS pension position. $948,769, that's up from the $682,000, so we're up about $260,000 there. Your net position, your net investment in capital assets, that's kind of like the blue book value of all the capital assets of the city, which would be things like buildings, improvements, vehicles, just any and all depreciable assets. $7,376,452. That is down from the $7,961,745. Decrease is just due to depreciation. Restricted funds, that's money that is set aside for a specific purpose. Most of that being debt service, but also just some special revenue funds. $1,726,000 up from the $1,645,000. So you're up roughly about $80,000 in your restricted funds. Unrestricted, that's free and clear, can be spent however the mayor and council so chooses, and also that pretty much represents the unrestricted cash that y'all have on hand in Gun Barrel City. $4,428,955. That is up from the $4,265,000 in the prior year, so about a $160,000 increase in your unrestricted net position, which is very good. So total net position, again, $13,531,000, down slightly from the $13,871,000 in the prior year. Let's go now to page 11. This is the statement of changes in net position, which will government audit speak for profit and loss or income statement. So this is the income statement for Gun Barrel City, and again, 2024 and 23 here side by side. Charges for services, excuse me, $681,000, up from about $558,000, so about $123,000 increase in your service revenue. Grant income, about $58,000, up from $12,000, so up about $46,000 there. Sales taxes, $5,057,000, up from $5,052,000. Can't get much more consistent than that. A slight little $5,000 increase there. Franchise fees, also pretty consistent, $448,000, up from $444,000. Alcoholic beverages tax, $77,000, up from $60,000. Hey, I did visit 3 or 4 times last year, so I helped with that, sure, yeah. Hotel motel taxes, $195,000, up from about $149,000, so up about $46,000. And interest earnings, which is interest income, $94,000, up from $76,000, up $14,000. As you know, interest rates are up. Miscellaneous income, excuse me, $285,000, down from $405,000, so we're down about $120,000. Total revenues overall, $6,896,519, up from the $6,757,000, so we're up, right at $140,000. So that's a nice little increase in your total revenues. Your general government expenses were $1,750,826, up from $1,634,000, so up about $116,000 there. Public safety, that's your police and fire, also animal control, $3,172,000, up from $2,956,000, also up about $115,000 there. Highways and streets, $1,776,000, up from $1,514,000, up about $162,000 there. Culture and recreation, it's most of your parks, $512,892, up from $460,000, up about $52,000. Interest expense was down $24,008, down from $31,800, so down about $7,000. Total expenses, $7,236,621, up from the $6,598,000. Shows a net decrease in that position, $340,000, compared with $159,000 in the prior year. So as mentioned, $940,000 of that is depreciation. So overall, still good financial. And as I mentioned earlier, we did increase your net position for unrestricted funds, which is of course good. That is all more than enough numbers from me. Any comments or questions?
Questions? Great job as always, Don. I appreciate you
Sure.
guys so much. Stick around.
Yeah.
7F, receive the annual comprehensive financial report audit for the fiscal year ending September 30th, 2024 for the Economic Development Corporation, which includes the independent auditor's report. Speaking on this will be our EDC Director, Dr. Smith.
I also will punt to Mr. Almond.
Hey, nice to see y'all again. Here I am. Yeah, Don Almond, CPA, once again. And we'll look at the gun barrel EDC, and yes, this will be even shorter and sweeter. So yeah, we'll look at the EDC starting on page 4. Financial highlights: assets of the corporation exceed liabilities at the close of the most recent fiscal year by $2,815,204. Your second bullet point: as the close of the current fiscal year, corporation reported an increase in net position of $54,076 on governmental fund basis. So net income of $54,000 for the EDC. Sticking there right on page 4, your current assets. So again, that'll be the, basically any and all bank accounts of the EDC. Plus, y'all do have the receivables, from the development contributions y'all made. $2,608,501. That's down from the $2,711,000. So we're down about $100,000, $103,000 there. Capital assets there, most of that is land, so there's not really hardly any depreciation. $744,000 down from $745,000. So total assets, $3,353,000. Slight increase from the $3,457,000. So yeah, we're up about 5,000. No, I'm sorry, actually down. Yeah, I'm sorry, down just a little bit there. Current liabilities, accounts payable, $89,000, down from $163,000. So you did reduce your debt there by about $74,000. Long-term liabilities, $448,000. That's down from $532,000. So you are paying down your long-term debt. Paid that down about $84,000. So yeah, total liabilities right at $538,000. Down from the $695,000, so yeah, it did decrease your total liabilities by about $158,000 there. Net position or net worth, your net investment capital assets in the EDC, $213,339, up from $130,000. Restricted, that's just to make debt service payments in the next year, $107,000. Very small increase from the $106,930. Unrestricted, free and clear, again, really good, strong position. Obviously, EDC has had very good fiscal management for a long time, too. There's unrestricted funds there, $2,494,598, down a little bit from the $2,523,586. But again, so you're looking over 90%, asset to debts ratio, which is, just outstanding. So total net position, $2,815,000, up from the $2,761,000. So that $54,000 increase there. Page 5, there at the top, we have 24 and 23 side by side. Again, this is the income statement. Revenues, sales tax, again, very consistent, $722,462, slight increase from the $720,967. Interest income up with the higher rates and higher cash balances, $82,000, up from right at $60,000, so up about $22,000 there. Total revenues, $804,468, up from $780,937, so you're up almost $25,000 there. Economic development expenses, most of that, of course, being to help developments within the community, $729,049, up from $577,584. So you're up about $152,000. And, your EDC expenses, again, most of those go into development. Interest expense, $21,000, down from $24,000. Total expenses, $750,000, up from $601,000. Change in net position is positive. Net income, $54,000, a little down from last year's $179,000, but still. Ending net position, as I said, $2,815,000, up from $271,000. Very good, strong economic, EDC economic position too. And that's all, folks. Any comments or questions?
Questions? Outstanding job. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Seven G, consider and take action to adopt resolution number R-2025-003, designating authorized signatories pertaining to the Community Development Block Grant Mitigation CBBG-MIT, a General Land Office State Contract Number 23-160-101-F101. To make sense of all this will be our city manager, Dr. Smith.
Yes, sir. So, Council Mayor, I'm going to talk about both 7G and 7H together. As I have mentioned to each of you, the city of Gun Barrel has received a $300,000 grant. It requires no match from the General Land Office to improve our comprehensive plan with new drainage maps, which our current comprehensive plan does not have drainage maps, and to update our zoning. We have, I think, 8 or 10 different zones, and then there's subzones within that, so we have a lot of zones in Gun Barrel City. So this is a planning grant. It doesn't allow you to do the work, the physical. We couldn't go out and install new drains, but we can. They will help us plan for the topography of Gun Barrel. So as we're dealing with some of the ongoing drainage issues we have, our team has a better idea of where those major problems are, where the high points are, where the low points are. Some of you have heard me say during the last rain, I spent a lot of time driving around looking at drainage, and at a random point in the street, it does this, and this water goes this way, and this water goes this way, and so that's what this does. That's what this helps us do. So it is a no-match grant. They will fund the money, and then we will work with GrantWorks to update our zoning and update our drainage maps or get new drainage maps. We're very excited about this. Of the list of probably 15 different things we had to have in order to get this money, we had all but 2. And I would like to probably thank the ARPA for that. Janet was able to find all of them but 2. One being the designating the signatories, which you have to do with every new grant, and then putting into place policies regarding civil rights. And anytime you receive money from the state or federal government, they require you to check some boxes, and these are the boxes that we have to do. So tonight you will approve the signatories first, and that just says who can sign for the money, and then also affirming the policies regarding civil rights, which they send to us and we approve by resolution, both items. And then tomorrow, we actually have our kickoff meeting with the General Land Office. So my team will meet with the General Land Office tomorrow. It's official training that we have to go through and get logged into their system. Each grant giver, each person that each organization that gives out grants uses something a little bit different. So we'll all get up to speed on that and purchasing requirements. But the great news is, having gone through ARPA, nothing can be harder than that one. So my team is prepared, but we'll get that all laid out tomorrow, and then we'll be good to go. So these 2 resolutions are just the final things council has to do related to this specific grant.
Thank you so much. I will read into the record now Resolution R-2025-003, authorizing signatories, a resolution by the City of Gun Barrel City designating authorized signatories for contractual documents and documents for requesting funds pertaining to the Community Development Block Grant Mitigation CDBG-MIT General Land Office GLO State Contract Number 23-160-101 F101. I want to thank you and your staff for working so hard on this. This is a real godsend for us. This is great stuff that we'll be able to plan far into the future, and everybody knows especially after the weather we've had, the draining issues that we all have and we all face. Do I have a motion?
I move that we adopt resolution number R-2025-003, designating authorized signatories pertaining to the Community Development Block Grant Mediation, CDBG-MIT, General Land Office State Contract Number 23-160-101-F101.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Jacobs, second.
I have a motion and a second. Further discussion?
Well, are you and Angie, the city manager and the mayor, the signatories?
Yes.
Okay.
Tried to trick me, didn't you?
Yep,
Okay, good.
go ahead.
No further discussion. Vote for my left, please.
Burns, yes.
Evans, yes.
Jacobs, yes.
Motion passes. 7H, consider and take action to adopt resolution number R-2025-004, affirming policies regarding civil rights. Dr. Smith, did you want to speak? Any more on that, or we're good?
I'm good if you're good and don't have any.
I'm good. Then I will look for a motion.
You don't have a resolution he needs to read in? No? Cut it off the page, I was just asking. A resolution
I will
there?
read the little caption. Resolution R-2025-004 regarding civil rights, City of Gun Barrel City, Texas. Read that into the record. Motion?
I move that we adopt resolution number R-2025-004, affirming policies regarding civil rights.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Evans, second.
I have a motion and a second. Vote for my right, please.
Jacobs, yes.
Evans, yes.
Burns, yes.
Motion passes. 7I, consider and take action to spend up to $40,100 out of the Hotel Motel Fund and enter into a publicity and tourism agreement with the Texas Bass Nation Youth to sponsor their June 4th through the 6th of 2025, the state championship bass tournament. Speaking on this will be our city manager, Dr. Smith.
Mayor, Council, I would like to invite up Nathan Byerly. Nathan is the brain behind this, and Nathan has done this for a number of years. In Nathan's real life, he's coach, so, and I think he coaches every sport. So while this is coming to you a little late this year, Nathan and I have already talked about how to get it in front of you early next year, so even right after the budget kicks in. But I'm going to punt it to Nathan, and he's going to tell you, one, about what he's requesting, and two, all about the upcoming tournament, which is really, really cool.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity to come and tell you a little bit about what we do. This will be our fourth year coming to Gun Barrel City. We have the tournament on Cedar Creek Reservoir out of Tom Finley Park. We use the Gun Barrel City Pavilion to do all of our facilities and weigh-ins, and we actually are going to move our meetings back to there this year. We did it in the event center last year, and it didn't work out, didn't have enough room, and we're bigger this year than we were last year, so we're going to just do it at the pavilion, and hopefully it'll be cool enough. I've been doing this 5 years, started this tournament in the city of Belton, on Lake Belton, with 17 boats, and stumbled on Gun Barrel City one day and talked to Mickey first time, and she said, "Why do you want to come to Gun Barrel?" I said, "It's a perfect location. You got everything I need. It's a pavilion." We had to change a little bit about how we do things because we drive to the weigh-in, but in reality, it kind of makes them feel like they're in a bigger tournament than what they really are, because it's kind of how the elites do it if you follow Bassmaster. So it's worked out perfect for the last several years. And so we just keep coming back, and y'all keep welcoming us back, and we enjoy it. Our first year here, we had 57 boats. Our second year, we had 58 or 59. Last year, we had 97. This year, we have 157 eligible. We're expecting hopefully 120 to 130 boats. We don't know yet. We're still in registration process. We're right at 100 right now. So the way we do it is we make Cedar Creek Reservoir off limits for several weeks before this week coming up, which would be June 2nd is Saturday. So I guess the 29th, 30th, I don't know exactly the days on the calendar, but next Saturday coming up, I believe that's the 31st, is that right? Official practice will open. So I do that to push people here for at least a week to where you can see, I know we call it heads in beds, whatever you want to call it, so you get a good idea of what we did for your community. Because if they just trickle in throughout a month's time, you don't really know why they were here. So we've done it that way every year. On average, a boat will have 2 anglers in it, so that's 2 families, and they each travel with about 4 people per family, so about 8 per team, and they average about 4 nights in your town. So I know last year we talked to the filling station down on the end. I can't remember the name of it. It's down on the end on the left right before you go to the lake. And that lady asked us one morning, we were getting some coffee and stuff. She said, "What is going on?" I said, "What do you mean?" She goes, "For 2 years, every year at this time, we get like super busy. And so there's just boats lined up, getting gas, getting coffee, getting ice." So I feel like the people in the community are appreciative of it. Now, if you're trying to go fishing, you may be a little aggravated because we take up all of Tom Finley Park when we go down there. And every single year, we meet somebody fishing on the dock, and we have to apologize to them because they're catfishing off the rail. But it goes well. They've been more than receptive to knowing what we're doing. It's all about high school kids and junior kids. We have 2nd grade through 12th grade that participate in this event. We have 3 regions, a northwest, a northeast, and a southeast. Northwest being our biggest region right now. They have average 135 boats a tournament. We average in the southeast about 100. The northeast is our smallest one, averaging about 20 or 25. We're making a big push this year to try to help it grow some. But every year we've seen growth. This year we've seen from last year about a 40% growth across the state. These people that are coming to Gun Barrel come from as far as way west of Dallas, Midlothian area. We have people all out in those areas. Central Texas, Southeast Texas. So these are a lot of people that would maybe not be here for whatever reason. So I was given a impact study sheet to do, and we've estimated that on the investment, we think we'll bring in roughly $400,000 to your community for the week. Hopefully, that's our goal. You know, we'd like for it to be more than that, but if we can do $400,000, we think that's a pretty good deal. That's hotel, gas, store, and dining out. So we feel like Gun Barrel helped us get to where we're at. So we keep coming back because we want to keep paying y'all back. So I don't know. Y'all have any questions?
First, Coach, I want to say thank you, number one, to anybody that devotes this much time to the youth. I understand. I do some of that myself, so I get it. But first and foremost, I appreciate what you do. For those that haven't been a part of this, I've had a VRBO next to my house, and I've watched some of these young anglers and the amount of time that they prep and they work, and the family involvement is really great. And I think it's also a great influence for some of our youth to see some of these kids around town and see them in their boats and seeing what they're doing. But it's a great event. I just wish we had had more time too to help you with it. I know you're going to bring in a ton of sales tax revenue, and you know that's what we survive on. So I can't thank you enough. And again, for what you're doing for the kids and stuff, and how fast this thing has grown. It's really an exciting event. And if you guys have never seen it early in the morning, with all those boats on the water. It's really, really cool.
And something else that we've kind of changed. So when we first started, we were an open tournament in the state to try to grow it. Just let anybody that wanted to show up come. And it's grown to the point where now it's a merit-based system. So you have to qualify to get here. You don't just get to show up. We give away, if you're not familiar with it, for the high school side, we give away guaranteed $10,000 for first place in scholarship money. And on the junior, it's $5,000. And then we pay out, depending on how many teams we have in each division, we pay out the remainder of the places all the way down. This year, we're going to have an added Angler of the Year for the entire state. So we have 3 kids that have made Angler of the Year in each division, each region, and they don't know it yet, but we're going to kind of pit them against each other in another way other than just trying to win the tournament, that they're also competing for Angler of the Year for the whole state. And so that's something new that we're doing this year. I think y'all have got one of our trophies in here. Still the same trophy. It's a custom trophy. Nobody has a trophy like that. So anyway, we're appreciative to everything y'all have done. I told Mickey when we started this thing, I felt like if we brought it up here and we did it right, we could make it grow. And it's grown. It's way bigger than what it's ever been. We're the biggest right now, probably. I'm not going to say the numbers wise, but we give away more scholarship money than any other youth trail in Texas. So.
Well, we appreciate you. Further questions? If none, I'll ask for a motion.
Well, I move that we take action to spend up to $40,100 out of the Hotel Motel Fund and enter into a publicity and tourism agreement with the Texas Bath National Youth to sponsor the June 4th through 6th, 2025 State Championship Tournament.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Vote for my right, please.
Jacobs, yes.
Evans, yes.
Burns, yes.
Motion passes. Coach, thanks again.
Think y'all don't need me to do anything else?
Keep
Thank
doing
y'all
what
very
you're doing.
much for your time.
Thank you. You betcha. 7J, consider and take action to make board appointments that we discussed earlier. Speaking on this be Dr. Smith, our city manager.
Mayor, Council, at the special work session before this meeting, you interviewed Fred Vaughn and Kate Weller. Fred Vaughn has applied for our Parks Board. Kate has applied for our BOA. At the special work session, you agreed to appoint Fred Vaughn to Parks and Kate Weller to BOA. We'll just need a motion, a second, and a vote to solidify that, and then we'll get them started on orientation.
Do I have a motion for Kate Weller?
I move that we appoint Kate Weller to the open seat on Board of Adjustment.
On the permanent seat,
On
correct?
the permanent seat, yes.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Burns, Evans, go ahead. Edwards, second.
I have a motion.
Can't hear him over there.
Motion and a second. Vote for my left, please.
Burns, yes.
Evans, yes.
Jacobs, yes.
Congratulations, Ms. Weller. Do I have a nomination for Mr. Vaughn for Parks?
I move that we appoint Frank Vaughn to the Parks Board.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Burns, second.
I have a motion and a second. Vote for my right, please.
Jacobs, yes.
Evans, yes.
Burns, yes.
Motion passes. Congratulations, Ms. Vaughn. Appreciate it. 7K, consider and take action to allocate insurance proceedings not to exceed $34,900 to purchase a replacement vehicle for the police department. Sponsor of this item be our city manager, Dr. Smith.
Our chief is here if you have additional questions, but in the fall, one of our officers had an accident in one of our trucks. We sent that to be repaired. The officer is fine, but we sent that to be repaired. And as they were stripping the entire vehicle, they found a crinkle in the back floorboard. And that crinkle in the back floorboard was the line in the sand where they said, we will no longer repair said vehicle. It is now totaled. So the amount that you see there, the $34,000 and some change, is the amount that our insurance is paying us directly. They will write us a check. The chief has asked to use that money to buy a similar vehicle, similar year, similar style, so that we can outfit that truck with the equipment that we already have. So all the equipment has been removed from the vehicle. TML has picked up the truck. This doesn't necessarily need to come to council for approval, but it is more about just making you aware of the situation and what the chief and I are attempting to do to fix it and get us moved forward.
What year was the truck? That was 2023. I mean, I don't know if you've looked at the prices on vehicles lately, but I'm just a little concerned about how far that $35,000 is going to go.
And we likely won't be able to buy a brand new one, but we do have two really good partners in the area, one that sells Dodges and one that sells Chevrolets, and there's a Ford dealership. So we may be able to buy a lightly used vehicle with the same body style. The great news about the trucks is they don't change body style very often. So Chief may already have something in his pocket, but I think, we do have some options there to be able to partner with some local dealerships, either here in Gun Barrel or in Maybank, and work with those folks who will be able to get us one at auction significantly cheaper, just based on our relationships that we have in place. So.
And the equipment that it's outfitted in, we kept that, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Further questions? If none, I'll ask for a motion.
I move that we allocate the insurance proceedings not to exceed $34,900 to purchase a replacement vehicle for the police department.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Burns, second.
I have a motion and a second. If no further discussion, a vote from my right, please.
Edwards, yes.
Jacobs, yes.
Evans, yes.
Burns, yes.
Motion passes. 7L, consider and take action to approve ordinance number O-2025-010, amending the 2015 International Fire Code in line with the recommended North Central Texas Council of Government amendments. Moving over here to my left is Dr. Smith, scaring me to death. I'd also like to thank our city attorney, Blake Armstrong, for all their hard work. I will read into the record the ordinance. An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Gun Barrel City, Texas, amending sections of the 2015 International Fire Code, providing a severability clause, providing a repealer clause, providing a penalty, providing an effective date. Thank you, Dr. Smith.
Sorry, I couldn't leave in my iPad. I have notes on it. So in 2018, Gun Barrel City Council approved the 2015 International Fire Code. We also, at some point, have approved the 2015 International Building Code and Plumbing Code and Mechanical Code and Electrical Code. There's a lot of them. At that time, council had a discussion with the city manager and the building official and the fire chief and approved the 2015 International Fire Code as it was written. One of the challenges for cities is that the international codes are written as that, so they're not state-specific. So we found some areas in our International Fire Code that were not necessarily in line with state codes related to fires, specifically open burning in this case. So our fire code says you can burn within 20 foot, but Texas state law says it has to be downwind or 300 foot. So when we figured this out, I went to the city attorney and said, hey, it's very common when a city approves the new codes. And so there's a 2015, there's a 2018, I think. There's probably even a 2021 and a 2023 by now. They do this every couple of years. Gun Barrel is still on 2015. That COG, which is North Central Texas Council of Governments, they're in Arlington. They're one of the largest COGs in the state. They put out recommended amendments. And those amendments take the international code and bring it in line with state law. And so they're never major amendments. There's just a lot of them. So what was in your packet was kind of a redlined copy of the amendments that COG recommended. So in talking to the attorney, Blake recommended that we adopt not just the one that was currently affecting us, but all of them to bring what we have adopted in International Fire Code in line with state law. And so while there are a lot, it is a very long document. You all just got the ordinance today. What was included in your packet is all of the amendments in a really clear red line version. And it's basic, it's not major stuff, but it does bring everything in line with state law. So that's what this is. The ordinance, I apologize that you got it today, but it was literally 30 pages of information that he had to take the current ordinance and amend it to make it all fit. And so we decided this, I believe, like last Wednesday, Tuesday or Wednesday, that this was important enough, we did not need to wait. And it's because we have had a situation where we had to clarify outdoor burning for a resident and a builder, and here we are. So these amendments are what every other city would have adopted likely when they adopted 2015. A lot of cities are on 2021, or I suspect now there's even a 2023 out. They come out every couple of years. But every time these get adopted, then you kind of, especially fire code, they want to make sure they're in line with TCEQ, which is the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality. So they all have a few little tweaks, and we want to make sure we're in line with that. So it is a lot. I am not going to do a page turn with you because we would be here till midnight. Probably the biggest thing that you see there is the outdoor burning, which our International Fire Code says either 20 or 50 feet. And state law says downwind or 300 feet. So there are a few things in there like that that we're just bringing in line. And I will let you know, I have talked to our interim fire chief. I have also talked to our last fire chief. We did have a long conversation about this, and this was his recommendation from the beginning. It just didn't end up happening the way that he had hoped it would happen, and this brings us in line with state law.
Well, I appreciate the hard work. I know that's a lot of information, putting an ordinance that quickly, and I appreciate all that hard work by you and our city attorney, Blake Armstrong.
Took a village.
It did take a village. Do we have a motion?
I move that we approve ordinance number O-2025-010, amending the 2015 International Fire Code in line with the recommended North Central Texas Council of Government amendments.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Evans, second.
I have a motion and a second. If no further discussion, I'll take a vote from my left, please.
Burns, yes.
Evans, yes.
Jacobs, yes.
Edwards, yes.
Motion passes. Moving to planning and zoning. 8A, I will now open a public hearing on a request to rezone Lot 2R in the El Navarro Survey A-578 in the city of Gun Barrel City, being described as Lot 2R of Heritage Cove, Gun Barrel City, Texas, belonging to Odin Capital Venture, LLC, from General Business District B2 to Planned Development District PD. Anyone here to speak on that? Okay, can you? If no other comments, we will now close the hearing. We'll now move to 8B, consider and take action to adopt ordinance number 0-2025-008, amending the city's comprehensive plan and zoning map and rezoning Lot 2R in the El Navarro Survey A-578 in the city of Gun Barrel City, being described as Lot 2R of Heritage Cove, Gun Barrel City, Texas, belonging to Odin Capital Venture, LLC, from General Business District B2 to Planned Development District PD. I will now read the ordinance into the record. Ordinance number O-2025-008, an ordinance of the City Council for the City of Gun Barrel City, Texas, rezoning property within the Gun Barrel City city limits, amending the city's comprehensive plan and zoning map, providing severability, providing a repealer clause, providing a penalty, and providing an effective date. Speaking on this, our sponsor on this will be our city planner, Brittany Lewis.
We received the application on April the 16th of 2025. Public hearing notice was sent to the paper on April the 24th. Letters mailed to the property owners within 200 feet of the property on April the 24th. Public hearing notice was published in the paper for planning and zoning and city council meeting on May 1st, which is at least 15 days prior to the city council meeting. The planning and zoning meeting was scheduled for May 12th, and tonight is the regular city council meeting. This is the 200-foot boundary. I sent out 9 letters and received 0 in response. This is located at Heritage Parkway. Here's a view of the location from the street. It's currently a vacant lot. And let's take a look at the Planned Development District, or PD District, outlined under Section 156.039 of our zoning code. The purpose of the Planned Development District is to offer greater flexibility and discretion in how land is developed, especially when it comes to mixed-use areas that combine residential, commercial, or industrial uses. This zoning tool allows us to better accommodate initiative and diverse development patterns that might not fit neatly into traditional zoning categories. One of the key benefits of PD District is the ability to improve compatibility with surrounding areas and mitigate negative impacts more effectively than standard zoning might allow. It's particularly useful for redevelopment and redeveloping improved sites or for developing vacant land adjacent to already improved properties, always with a site plan that is reviewed and approved as part of the ordinance. Now, when it comes to the process of changing a property zoning to PD, the procedures are the same as for those of any other zoning change, meaning it will go through the usual public hearing review process. Lastly, let's talk about development standards. The Planning and Zoning Commission has the authorities to set specific limits on things like building height, floor area, and other development criteria in a planning development district. Also, in a mixed-use application, the most restrictive standards from the applicable zoning categories will be used as a baseline through the city council, or the commission can impose stricter rules if necessary to ensure compatibility. In short, the Planned Development District is a powerful tool that gives us flexibility while maintaining control and encouraging thoughtful development. Now let's look at the surrounding zoning. Starting on the north side, we have a mixed zoning designations and land uses. The R1 residential areas shown in blue are traditionally zoned for low-density single-family homes. But in this case, the actual existing uses include a movie theater and an elementary school, which are both institutional and entertainment uses rather than residential. The MF1 multiple family residential zone, shown in brown, is currently being used for a hotel, which is consistent with the higher density residential category. We also have a planned development district in pink, which in this case is approved specifically for a mobile food park development, offering a more flexible and unique commercial use that supports community gathering. So overall, on the north side, we're looking at a mix of commercial, institutional, and residential uses. Moving to the south side, the zoning is much more straightforward. It's designated B2, Business District, shown in red. This is a commercial zone intended for uses like retail, offices, and other similar business types. The existing use here are all consistent with mostly business and commercial establishments operating in line with the zoning. So what we're seeing overall is a diverse or compatible mix of uses surrounding the site, ranging from entertainment, education, to hospitality and commercial, which creates a strong foundation for a new development. Looking at the comprehensive plan, the proposed rezoning for B2 district to planned development is in clear alignment with both the existing and future land use vision for the area. On the existing land use map, we can see that the surrounding uses already include a mix of retail, public, semi-public, and vacant land. This site is situated in a transitional area where commercial activity is present, but adjacent to the recreational and public land uses. This makes it a prime candidate for more flexible and context-sensitive zoning classification like planned development. On the future land use map, the subject property lies near or within the Lakeview District, with adjacent areas designated for neighborhood retail, public, semi-public, and parks and open space. The Lakeview District is intended to support a mix of recreational, hospitality, and lifestyle uses that complement the lakeside setting. By shifting from straight commercial zoning to a planned development, we're enabling a custom-tailored approach that allows for a mixed compatible uses like lodging, event space, recreational amenities, while incorporating site-specific development standards. This aligns with the plan's goals to promote walkability, connectivity, destination-based development in this corridor. This plan is the conceptual only. The full compliance will be reviewed at the site plan approval stage. And here's a view of the conceptual plan from an aerial view. It is located behind Lake Jackson Seafood, behind Golden Chick, and next to Domino's Pizza. Staff finds the rezoning appropriate and beneficial for the area, pending further detailed review at the site plan stage. And if you have any questions for me?
It says it's going to be a 3-story mixed-use building. Is that in compliance with our fire equipment?
Yes.
Okay.
And then I also have the applicant here. She has her own presentation to go over more detailed plan development that she has.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Oh, I can read it if, I just thought a visual would be nice. Okay. So it's a 3-story mixed-use building. 5 commercial spaces will be on the first level. 12 generally sized apartments on the second and third level. In addition, there will be a children's park, walkway, modern patio facing the waterfront. The building will be a total of 24,000 square feet. The height is 42 feet tall. The finished grade of the building will be brick and panel. For the commercial spaces, 2 out of the 5 will be for Tier 1 fitness. So it's going to be a gym facility with classes. And one of them is going to be My Bakery, which is 1,000 square foot restaurant that offers high protein meals, pastries, protein shakes, fresh coffee. All meals and pastries will be prepared daily with an option to grab and go or enjoy on the patio. It's going to be the city's new spot for healthy breakfast, lunch, and dinner, which is a concept that does not currently exist in the area. My Bakery was established in 2018 in Washington, D.C. Tier 1 Fitness will be a 5,000 square foot state-of-the-art commercial gym that includes infrared sauna, hydro massage beds, tanning beds, and high-quality weightlifting equipment. Their other spaces will be available to lease. 12 apartments will be available to rent at market price. Apartments will range between 800 to 1,200 square feet and will be built in a modern yet timeless design, which will include a spacious balcony, kitchen island, floor-to-ceiling windows, and a walk-in closet. There is going to be an option for a 1-bedroom, 1-bath, 2-bedroom, 2-bath, and 3-bedroom, 3-bath. Parking and entry, there will be 36 parking spaces. There are currently 2 separate driveways leading to the property from West Main Street. Driveways and parking spaces added will be paved to match the existing aesthetics. Residents will have a secured private entrance and a designated parking space along the north side of the building. The arrangement of the driveway and parking spaces will provide a convenient and safe movement for all vehicles and traffic without afflicting to the neighboring businesses and the public. Business owners at Heritage Cove Park share the same vision of having a walkway path along the water that we will be adding to this development. Waterfront patio will seat up to 30 people. A children's park will have 3 swings, slide, climbing wall, and a sandbox play area. There will be a rooftop lounge available for all tenants to enjoy with an option to host private events. And if, with my timeline, if everything goes the way it should, we should be up and operating by September of 2026. Our community currently lacks key elements essential for an active and healthy lifestyle. The concept of this proposed development, situated in the heart of Gun Barrel City, is designed to address the needs to the local community and its surrounding. It will create a modern spaces for new businesses to thrive and new job opportunities, provide residential options to accommodate the city's growth, offer nutritious dining choices, and feature a versatile outdoor spaces that appeal to all age groups and families to enjoy. By seamlessly combining convenience and luxury, this development will deliver economic, social, and physical benefit, enhancing the overall quality of the community. And then I do have one business owner that did reach out to me after he received the letter in the mail that he says that he loves this idea and approves it. He has no problem with it. It's Aaron's appliance store. Is there any questions?
I just have a couple. I love the concept. It's great. I assume there'll be classes, and I want to ask, will this be for certain age groups? Will there be youth training? Will there be older senior training? I mean, what type of training and classes will be offered?
All ages. So it's a commercial gym, but then there will be studios for private classes, and so those private classes will, go with different age groups.
Great. Love the concept.
Do you have commitments from the fitness center and the bakery and the art studio?
Yes, my bakery and the fitness center, yes, ma'am.
Great presentation. Did your homework.
Well needed. Questions further?
Do I have a motion?
I motion.
Read it.
Consider to take action and adopt the ordinance. No, that's, I'm sorry, public.
Here, read from your screen right here.
Consider and take action to adopt ordinance number 0-2025-008, amending the city's comprehensive plan and zoning map, and rezoning Lot 2R in the El Navarro Survey A-578 in the city of Gun Barrel City, being described as Lot 2R of Heritage Cove, Gun Barrel City, Texas, belonging to Odin Capital Venture LLC, from General Business District B2 to Planned Development District PD.
I have a motion. Do I have a second? I have a motion and a second. Vote from my left, please.
Burns, yes.
Jacobs, yes.
Edwards, yes.
Motion passes. Congratulations.
Thank
Super exciting.
8C, I'd like to open a public hearing on an amendment to a previous request from Cedar Creek Church of God to grant a special use permit for a recreational building located at 142 Rodney Drive, Gun Barrel City, Texas, owned by Cedar Creek Church of God. We have 2 citizens' comments, and they wanted to wait to speak on this item. So at this time, I would like to ask Stacy Flowers to the podium, please.
Hello, I'm Stacy Flowers from 124 East Bar H Drive. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. I just want to begin by saying that I have nothing against the church or its mission. I respect what they're trying to do. However, I'm strongly opposed to the proposed development across the street from my property. This area is a quiet residential neighborhood, a community my family and I chose specifically because of its peaceful nature. We bought our property years ago, knowing it was a low-traffic area with single entry and exit point. Since then, the road has been opened up, and we've already experienced a significant increase in traffic and roadside trash. Our once quiet street has become a cut-through for drivers trying to reach Highway 198, and the constant presence of work trucks has deteriorated the condition of our road. The increased activity will only worsen congestion in our road. I work from home, and the gym across the street and potential events would be very distracting as I work daily. We've tolerated the noise and presence of semis idling nearby without complaint because they were offering food to those in need. But this proposal pushes the limits of what a residential neighbor should have to accept. There's already a community center being built right down the street that can host programs and activities in a space better suited for higher traffic gatherings and the services being proposed. Residential neighborhoods should not be the default location for projects better placed in a commercial zone or central community hubs. The last city council on April 15th, it was requested to move this recreational center to the south. The proposed plan only moved it a little bit to the west. So it wasn't even moved when it was asked to be. It needs to be moved closer to the commercial side towards the Chevron. There's plenty of space over there. Just please consider our neighborhood and how it affects us. Our neighborhood, we're the whole back row almost back there that this affects. So please consider that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Also wishing to speak on this item, Brandy Rayburn.
Hi, I'm Brandy Rayburn. I live directly next door to the church at 117 East Bar H Drive. And like Stacy, it is a very quiet neighborhood. We have put up with a lot of different things over the time out of respect for the church and what their mission is and what they're doing. And none of us are trying to interfere with their right to assemble and worship, because we all have the right to do that and appreciate our space to do so. But we also would like to have our neighborhood respected, and the fact that this is our home, this is where we live, this is where we are every day, and opening this up to a 7-day-a-week business basically is not what we signed up, but what we bought. We bought a residential neighborhood, and having hours that is going to be every day for the community center, and then having the services on Wednesdays and Sundays, it opens us up to like 7-day-a-week commercial lifestyle, and that's not what a residential area is. Also, I'd like to point out that in all of the stuff that I've seen, I've not seen anything that has like the building are supposed to have like the stamp approval of like where you can actually see what you're building. All we have is a diagram. There's no like logistics like you just saw in that presentation where you can see what's going up, what's being built, what it looks like, what it's going to have, what it's going to show. We don't have that. We've asked for that. Let's see. And if you approve this, what is to keep them from extending their hours and things like that? We just need that information as a community that we live there every day and night. let's see, I had more. You know, in like the application guidelines, it says that the proposed area is to be compatible with and not injurious to the use and the enjoyment of the neighboring properties. We're the neighboring properties, and we are not enjoying this at all. We have the right to be able to live in our homes and be out in our yards and do what we want to do and have the peace of doing that. And this isn't respecting our rights either. And I just wanted that to be addressed. We've asked that it be moved further back, and all it's done is moved it closer to, to the building a little bit, but that whole side is all residential area. So that's all I have. I just
Thank you.
wanted that to be acknowledged.
Thank you very much. Discussion?
We did make a motion last at the meeting.
Mayor, this is a public hearing.
Yep.
So if you could close the public
We
hearing.
will close the public
Brittany will
hearing,
have
and
a
we will move to
presentation.
8D. Consider and take action to adopt ordinance number O-2025-009, amending ordinance number O-2025-005, granting a special use permit to Cedar Creek Church of God. I will speak on the ordinance and into the record at this time. Ordinance number O-2025-009, an ordinance of the City Council for the City of Gun Barrel City, Texas, amending ordinance number 0-2025-005, issuing a special use permit to Cedar Creek Church of God, providing a severability clause, providing a repealer clause, providing a penalty, and providing an effective date. Speaking on this item will be our city planner, Brittany Lewis.
We received the initial application on March 17th. Public hearing notice was sent to the paper on March 19th. Letters mailed to the property owners within 200 feet of the property on March 27th. Public hearing notice was published in the paper for planning and zoning and city council meeting on March 30th, which is at least 15 days prior to the city council meeting. The planning zoning meeting did give recommendation on April the 14th, and on April the 15th, city council approved with the condition that the building be located more to the south of the property. We received an amended special use with the building further west of the east property line on April the 21st. Public notice was sent to the paper on April the 24th and published on May 1st. Letters were mailed to the property owners on April the 24th. The regular P&Z meeting was May 12th, and tonight is the regular city council meeting. This will be located at 142 Rodney Drive here in Gun Barrel City. The property is highlighted in yellow. The residential homes are highlighted in blue, and the businesses are shown in red. Here's the previous proposed building located more to the east of the property, showing to be 10 feet away from the property line. Here's the amended proposed building location, located more east. You can also see here that they have plans for a future sanctuary to be located on the south of the property, and this is why this amended special use is coming before you tonight. The distance from the property line is now showing 103.56 feet and 99.63 feet. And here's a rough overlay of where the building would be on an aerial view. As defined in the ordinance, semi-public recreational facilities are those that are accessible to the public but typically operated by a private or nonprofit organization. These might include community centers, private gyms, or recreational clubs, and are subject to review by planning, zoning, and city council to ensure that they align with the character and needs of the surrounding area. For this project, the proposed facility has been evaluated for compatibility with adjacent land uses and zoning regulations, adequate access, parking, and infrastructure to support public use, compliance with safety and environmental standards, ensuring minimum disruption to the community, with all necessary considerations in place. This use under the special exception is appropriate for this location and meets our zoning requirements. Do you have any questions for me?
Well, does this take in the motion that we made in April about putting it to the south of the property?
So if you see here, I think I can actually go back. So this is what they previously brought to you back in April. And then this is what they brought to us instead. If you look closer to the south, they have a future sanctuary that they're wanting to build later on, and that's why they're bringing this proposal to you to see if they can shift it further to the west so that they still have that location for that future sanctuary.
With this item, there is some additional information that we didn't have when you considered it initially. So initially, it was along the fence line, just 5 feet from the property line, and we were not made aware of the future sanctuary that would back up to that Chevron station. So when council made the motion to move it further to the south, Pastor Dyson and his team of architects and engineers came forward and said, well, wait a minute, we have a bigger plan for this property. And so that's when we said, okay, well, we have to take this back to council to consider an amended site plan to go with the special use to shift it further to the west than the south. I'm looking at April because we just had this conversation because I'm directionally impaired. So they shifted it further west than going south because of the longer range plan to potentially put the sanctuary. I know Pastor Dyson is also here if you have questions for him.
Can I ask, once you put the future sanctuary in, what will the current building be used for? Because at that point, you'll have 3 buildings on the property.
That current building will be used for classrooms and offices. The sanctuary would just be that, the worship center.
Pastor, do we have an idea of the materials used to build this
Metal building.
complex?
It's
Metal,
going to be just like we have now, and just be a metal building.
insulated?
Insulated, it'll be spray foamed. It'll be a metal building, it'll be 2 stories. Because the top part of that building will be a track for people to walk. Some of our senior adults that can't walk in the heat, they'll be able to walk inside in the AC.
Further questions?
So I guess I got to ask, is there any material, I don't know anything about building a building or whatever, but that can help, that's going to be done that helps alleviate noise from going out of the building? You know what I'm trying to say? Like, I guess how loud a gym might be. I don't know how you build it. I mean, I don't know how they build gyms today at schools, but you know what I'm saying? It's probably more than just an average home would have or an average church would have, I assume.
Correct. And that's all still in the process. The reason for this not even coming back to you was because we were moving fast trying to get this special use permit. It's all going to be constructed. First of all, if we spray foam it and put the things on the inside in case someone falls against the wall, they don't fall through the wall because you don't just put sheetrock. There's other things that you put there that's going to be another sound barrier. There's not going to be a problem with sound. We work with the